If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Blac Youngsta gets arrested in Houston, and Star Brim and Nore go at it. Plus, Charlie Clips responds to Joe Budden's diss. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, yo, so this is crazy, right? So Blac Youngsta was in Houston, I guess driving around or whatever, right? He was in GMC, right? And the whole situation is that, you know, I guess they went through a stop sign or a stoplight or whatever the case may be. So the police, you know, they be sitting in a cut, they see you blow through that stop sign, next thing you know, whoop, whoop, you know? So they pull him over, right? And the whole thing is that there were 4 dudes in the vehicle, right? You got Blac Youngsta and 3 other guys, right? And the police pull them out, they said because they smelled marijuana, right? The same thing they tried to pull on Young Dolph yesterday, right? And the police did not find any marijuana, but that gives them probable cause to search your vehicle. Oh, we smelled marijuana, you know, especially like in those southern states, right? In New York, you could kind of smoke in public. You could if you have that little card, the medical card, you could kind of smoke like where everybody else is smoking. Like if there's a smoking area, you can sit out there and smoke a blunt and can't nobody say that to you, which is crazy. But that's New York, right? Not Texas, not Georgia, right? In Georgia, they ain't down with none of that, and even if you have a little nug of weed on you, guess what, bruh? You going to jail, right? But anyway, so they said they smelled marijuana, which they didn't, of course, because he didn't get arrested for possession of marijuana, but they searched the vehicle and they found 3 guns plus ammunition, which is bullets, in the vehicle, right? And they said that it was armor-piercing ammunition, so, you know, that's some hollow point tips, right? So there were 4 dudes in the car, but only 2 dudes got arrested, right? Blac Youngsta and another dude named Marcus Cartwright. So him and Blac Youngsta are actually in county jail right now, you know, as of this recording. You know, maybe they'll probably get out later on today, but as of right now, as I'm doing this video, they sitting in county jail. The other 2 dudes didn't get any charges and didn't get arrested, right? So we'll have to see, man, but I kind of think that, you know, Blac Youngsta, so in opposite of being in New York and then being in Texas, Blac Youngsta beat a case for some gun charge, you know, in the South just a couple months ago, right? And I think that he's probably going to beat this case too. If you get caught with a gun in the South, it's almost like, you know, hey, you get a slap on the wrist and that's it, right? If you get caught with a gun in New York, unlike weed, if you get caught with a gun in New York, they throwing you away. You know what I'm saying? So I think Blac Youngsta will beat it. I think he'll be good. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Nore can suck my dick.
Hey, tough, and that's how you better say that shit.
Yes, he can suck my fucking dick. You go against Taxstone, you can suck my dick.
And that's
period.
The same way I feel.
Period.
Niggas
Suck my fucking dick.
Alright, yo, so that's Star Brim, right? And she's basically talking to Nore, right? And first of all, I hate it when girls be like, yo, suck my dick, when they ain't got no dick. That's like not cute or anything, but that's not what we talking about right now, right? So the whole situation is, why is she saying this to Nore, right? So a couple days ago, Noriega did a Drink Champs interview where he had Troy Ave on there, right? And Troy Ave was basically talking about the whole situation that happened with him and Taxstone at Irving Plaza, right? So for y'all that don't know, and I'm gonna just run through this real quick, right? Because this is street shit and whatever. Even though they all talking about it on social media and they all talking about it in the public, it is street shit, right? So, you know, whatever, right? But the whole situation that happened is basically that everybody was backstage. You know, it was a T.I. concert at Irving Plaza. This was like 3.5 years ago now, right? In 2016 in May, right? And the whole thing is that, you know, there was a little argument that happened between Troy Ave and Taxstone, but Troy Ave and Taxstone been had beef from before, right? They both from Brooklyn, and the way that Troy Ave kind of acts is like real cocky, like, yeah, nobody could check me, yo. You know, I'm not one of these weirdo rappers. I'm a real hustler from the streets of Crown Heights. Right? That's Troy Ave, right? And then you got Taxstone, he be acting like a bully and he likes to expose rappers and be like, yo, this rapper ain't really all that gangster. They like to talk and they like to act like that, but when I run up on them, you're gonna see how they gonna fold. These niggas is pussy, right? So so you got 2 alpha males, right? Both from the same city, and of course they was gonna run into each other one day, and that was the day, right? Troy Ave explains it as basically he was backstage, the other dude had a gun, pulled it out, boom, shot his bodyguard, Troy Ave's bodyguard. Now Troy Ave's bodyguard gets killed right there on the spot, right? And Troy Ave's bodyguard was there doing his job, right? And the whole situation is that Troy Ave kind of tussled with the dude a little bit, right? And ended up getting the gun from the dude, right? But during that tussle, Troy Ave ended up getting shot in the leg, right? So anyway, Troy Ave gets the gun from the dude, right? And then starts running after the dude, and the dude starts running, right? Busting shots off towards the guy, right? And the guy basically doesn't get hit. I mean, nobody gets hit, right? At that point, everybody who was there for the concert ran out, like, oh my God, they're shooting up in here, and it's crazy, right? At first, they initially thought it was like somebody in the crowd or the audience, you know, arguing, get your hands out of my pocket, and start shooting, but it was actually the artists and the talent and the rappers from backstage that came into the VIP starting shooting, right? Long story short, Troy Ave drove himself to the hospital because he was shot in the leg. He still had the gun that he wrestled away from the dude, and then basically the cops found the gun in his car and then locked Troy Ave up, right? And Troy Ave was trying to tell the police, man, this ain't my gun. Here's what happened, right? So Troy Ave did tell him what happened, right? And so right there is when they say, yo man, Troy Ave used a snitch, right? At that point, the dude, Taxtone, was not locked up. He wasn't arrested or anything like that. But a couple months later, after Troy Ave basically told them what really happened, they came and picked up Taxtone, right, in Brooklyn, right, from Starlight City, right? And I think that Taxtone, if he knew what was going on, he should have been gone. He had enough time to bounce and just leave New York, right? But he didn't. He was still sticking around, right? And then that same, like, you know, year on Christmas Day, they shot Troy Ave in the head, yo, in his car, sitting on Linden Boulevard, but Troy Ave survived that shooting too, right? Which is crazy, and that's just God, right? So with all that being said, right, Troy Ave basically is telling the prosecutors and everybody, like, yo, listen, this dude was trying to come at me and I was just defending myself. It was self-defense. I don't think that I should be getting locked up or going to jail for anything, right? Now, here's where it gets crazy, right? If Troy Ave said that and all of this happened like in North Carolina or in Texas or Florida or Georgia, something like that, Troy Ave wouldn't have nothing to worry about. They'd be like, okay, clearly self-defense, you good. You had the other man's gun. You ain't even coming there with no gun. You good, right? But this is New York. So New York, they don't care, man. Even if you had the gun, even if it was somebody else's gun, if you were in possession of it, or if you were using it and shooting it, then guess what, bruh? You going to jail, right? They don't care. New York ain't trying to hear that, and Troy Ave is trying to fight for his freedom, right? But here's the whole situation, right? Now, a lot of people are calling Troy Ave a snitch, right? But it's not like on some 6ix9ine snitching, right? 6ix9ine snitched on his people, his crew. Everybody was friends. Everybody was homies. And 6ix9ine got arrested with them, and then he was like, oh no, I'm not trying to go to jail. He did this, he did that, and yeah, I paid him to do it. I paid $30,000 for him to shoot at Chief Keef, and I paid him $10,000 to rob Scum Lord Dizzy, but shit, I ain't going to jail. They did it, right? So that was 6ix9ine, and he's a grimy ass Brooklyn nigga, and he straight up snitched on people, right? But the whole situation with Troy Ave is that it's not like him and Taxtone were cool. As a matter of fact, him and Taxtone were enemies, and it's not like, you know, he was down with Taxtone and then they got arrested together. No, Taxtone was trying to get him. So Troy Ave was the victim of Taxtone. So of course, if Troy Ave is telling the prosecutors, yo, this dude was trying to victimize me, I was just trying to do this in self-defense, people question and say, well, is that really snitching, right? And so Noriega kind of said, well, you know, Troy Ave, I do see your point during the interview while Troy Ave was telling all this to Noriega, right? I do see your point. You know, it's not like you 6ix9ine. It's not like that was your homeboy. You just trying to let them know that you ain't bring the gun in there or shoot anybody or whatever the case may be, right? Here's the thing though, right? Now, if Troy Ave is living by the street code, right? And if you see an op on the street and you happen to get the drop on him before he gets the drop on you, and then he tells on you, is that really cool? Like, or it could be considered snitching, right? Because again, you know, it's not like, I'm sure backstage Troy Ave wasn't like, hey, Taxtone, how you doing? You know, hey, all that stuff I was talking about you, I was just joking. I'm sure it was more of the same, you know, bravado. Yo, yo, what the fuck is up, nigga? No, nigga, what the fuck is up type shit. You know what I'm saying? And if your enemy gets to drop on you before you get to drop on them and they happen to kill your homeboy, then you go run and tell the cops, yo, he killed my boy, he did it. No, man, you wanted this beef. You signed up for this street shit, even though it's not gang shit like Treyway. You signed up for this street shit, right? And if you sign up for the street shit and if your op gets the best of you, you can't go run and tell the police. You gotta eat that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit there and do that time. So that's where it gets cloudy, right? And so Troy Ave is like, streets is a myth and all that stuff. And I get it. I see Troy Ave's point of view, but I also see Taxtone's point of view. But anyway, so Star Brim is basically getting mad at Noriega for even giving Troy Ave a platform to even say that on, right? And then Noriega responds to Star Brim.
Pull up! This is... I'm ready. I'm on it. I'm on it. Niggas think it's something pussy over here? I'ma show you. Pussy! Oh, I'm bringing them out. Yeah, I'm bringing them out.
All right, boss.
All right, no more disrespect. I'ma show niggas. You see how clear my skin is? 42 years old nigga drinking green juice. Still smack the shit out of motherfucker. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'ma show y'all niggas. Nigga don't want no beef with no chick. Tell the homie step up. Fucking, come on, tell the homie step up. Nigga ain't beef with no chick. And she probably really want to suck my dick. Ugly bitch.
Alright, so Noriega ain't really nothing to play with, right? And I haven't really even seen him this mad in like 10 years, right? And like I said, it's street shit, so I don't want to speak too much on street shit, especially when you got pending cases still going on and everything like that. But at the same time, it's not staying in the streets, it's going on the internet now because motherfuckers are doing interviews about it, they talking about it, they interviewing each other about it, they calling in from jail about it, they doing lives about it, so they are putting it in front of us to talk about it, right? But it is some street shit and it is crazy, and really and truly I don't really want to see nobody beefing like that. Nobody black and nobody from New York, and all these motherfuckers is from New York, man. Star Brim is from Brooklyn, Nore's from Queens, Taxtone is from Brooklyn, Troy Ave is from Brooklyn. I mean, well, that beef ain't gonna get squashed. I mean, that beef is probably for life, but you get my point, man. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
No clips don't go on no fucking Mount Rushmore. It was hot for a year and a half and fell off.
Alright, Joe, so Loaded Lux, right, was on Joe Budden's podcast, right, and they talk about everything battle rap, right, and for y'all don't know that Loaded Lux is a battle rapper, right, and he's dead nice, right, so they ask him, like, who's on your Mount Rushmore of battle rappers, and basically who's your top 4 of battle rappers, right? So, you know, Loaded Lux includes a couple names, but he also says Charlie Clips, right? And, you know, Joe Budden is a funny dude because not only is he a studio rapper, right? Not only is he like a dope podcaster and all that stuff, but he's been in the battle rap arena before too, right? So he's kind of like a jack of all trades. So Joe Budden can really speak to a lot of things that people talk about within hip hop, you know? I don't know if you ever did spray painting or breakdancing, but if not, then that's like the only 2 damn things he never did in hip hop, and I'm sure he probably did some of that too, right? So Joe Budden is like, listen, Charlie Clips had maybe a year and a half run, and that's about it, right? He's saying that, how dare you put Charlie Clips on the Mount Rushmore of battle rappers, right? And this is hilarious because for me personally, I think that Charlie Clips belongs up there. He's been in the game for way longer than a year and a half, and he's also on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out, right? He's dead nice, right? And I done seen him battle some dudes and straight whip them apart. He was like, you said you took 3 L's and you just won 1 time. So that's 3 LW. Like, it was ill the way he was flipping that and everything like that. But anyway, so Charlie Clips seeing that, and he was like, you know what, you entitled to your opinion and everything like that, Joe Budden, but, you know what I'm saying, when you started getting like really passionate about how I really don't belong on there, how I had a year and a half run and all of that stuff, he was like, now you wildin', right?
Pump, 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 pump. Joe, Anthony, Budden, you was my dog, man. What happened? you know, it's crazy because remember we was in LA, and remember you kind of like followed me and conceded to the room and hung out with us and talked for 5 hours about how your knees was gonna give out in 8 years or some crazy shit like that. Cause you jumped the fence and broke your shit, and then you smoke cigarettes so the nicotine trickles down to the ACL, all some crazy shit. I thought you was my dog sharing these stories and all that. But now you got a podcast and you acting different, Joe. Listen, at the end of the day, an opinion is an opinion. But hate is hate. It was too much aggression describing my career from you, man. And the false advertisement and all that. You know what I'm saying? You and the Sean Kingston body having ass nigga Maul or whatever the fuck his name is, or whatever the case may be. Man, listen, I fuck with y'all. This is just battle rap shit or whatever. How about we both just get in the fucking ring? So since you think I fell off and don't deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore, I bet you they carve my face right the fuck up there after I do what I do to you. And I promise you that, nigga. But we both don't need to battle each other. I'm on TV, you on TV sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Your podcast is doing great, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is we don't need to battle, but I haven't felt like this in a while. Now I want to battle.
Yo, funny as hell, right? So calls Joe Budden by his middle name, Anthony, right? And Joe Budden's real name is Joseph, and his last name is Budden. He going by his real name, Joe Budden, but he calls him Anthony, right? Because his whole name is Joseph Anthony Budden II, right? So he's like, Anthony, funny as hell, right? But then he challenges Joe Budden to a battle. He's like, yo, you know what? Why don't you get in the ring? Since you feel like I fell off and blah, 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 why don't you get in the ring, and then we could really see like who's who and what's what, and then you will respect me, you will put me on your, you know, your Mount Rushmore hip hop, right? But this is all like lyrical, this is all funny, this is all like battle kind of stuff. This is hip hop, right? This ain't no street shit like the other shit with Star Brim and Nore. This beef right here is a hip hop beef, right? But let me know what you think about this and everything else in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram. That's Jonny, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.